Viewers, I want to welcome you to our MMC platform. Today we are looking at element of construct theory, A-level sub-math, that is algebra. And straight away you have a scenario here that has been presented to us. It goes, a bakery in a certain town is expanding its bread production to meet the increasing demand and has been given a contract to produce and supply 690 trays of bread to a supermarket within 10 days. To fulfill the contract, the bakery has started by producing 6 trays of bread on the first day. Will produce 9 trays on the second day, 12 trays on the third day. And the bread production will keep increasing by the same constant number of trays each subsequent day. The bakery manager wants to determine how long it will take to fulfill the contract if production continues to increase in the same pattern. So that's the first part of our scenario. And the task says, A, Roman 1, assess whether the production pattern will enable the manager to fulfill the contract. Roman 2, recommend an alternative production pattern to the manager to fulfill the contract, assuming that 6 trays are produced in the first day. Thank you so much, our dear viewers. The new curriculum is now to help us see how we implement what we have been doing theoretically into our real life to solve our daily problems. So, according to this, we can summarize and say, the bakery in a certain town is expanding its bread production to meet the increasing demand and has been given a contract to produce and supply 690 trays needed. Then, in a period of 10 days, okay? Now, on day 1, there is a production. Then on day 2, there is a production. Then on day 3, there is a production. Now, on day 1, they have told us that 6 trays will be produced. These are the number of trays. So on day 1, we have 6 trays. Then on day 2, we have 9 trays will be produced. Then on day 3, we shall have 12 trays to be produced, and etc. So our dear viewers, according to your observation, which subtopic is this? Which topic is this in this element of construct? This is sequence and series, and particularly this is an AP or arithmetic progression, because we can see it has a common difference. And what is our common difference? Our common difference is 9 minus 6, giving us 3. So you find that that difference is common. Even if you subtract 12 minus 9, you still get 3. So in other words, in this case, the first task is telling us that assess whether the production pattern will enable the manager to fulfill the contract. So now we have the common difference. We need to now know. So from there we have to get the sum of how many trays will be produced within this period or following that pattern. So we shall write a formula for summation of an AP. Summation of an AP is given by n over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay? So from there, we shall get this Sn is equal to, what's our n? Our n is the number that we don't have. Then we need to get the A. A is already given. Our A is the first term, which is 6 trays. Then our common difference is given. Okay. So from there, we can now proceed and say that our item or our SN will be given by, let us have, so the sum of the trays produced in the first 10 days is, actually our N is 10. So in this case, our N is 10. Okay? So we shall substitute and get the sum or the total number of trays that will be produced in the 10 days. So substitute. What's our N? N is 10 over 2 into twice A. What's our A? A is 6 plus, what's our N? N is 10 minus 1. What's our D? Common difference is 3. So from here we shall have 10 over 2 is 5 into 2 times 6, 12 plus 10 minus 1, 9 into 3. Then we shall have 5 into 12 plus 9 times 3, 27. So when you add that and that, what do you come up with? 39. So 5 times 39, that is 195 trays. So SN, or the sum of 10 trays, the sum of 10 items will be 195. But remember, the supplier needs, the contract or the customer needs 690 trays. So back to our scenario, they were asking whether this will satisfy the customer. Therefore, our response finally says, following the pattern, the manager will produce only, the manager will produce only 195 trays in 10 days. In 10 days, which is less than the 690 trays needed or required. Okay? Then, in a conclusion, we can say the manager will not be able to fulfill the contract in 10 days. The manager will not be able to fulfill the contract in 10 days. Okay, so that is our part A, our viewers. So straight away we shall look at part B. Actually, not part B, that is our part A, Roman 1. This is part A, Roman 1. Then want us to look at Roman 2. Okay, let us read Roman 2. Roman 2 says, it says, task, recommend an alternative production pattern for the manager to fulfill the contract, assuming that 6 trays are produced on the first day. Okay, so we want to get an alternative production pattern. So in the alternative production pattern, what do we need? We need how many trays? Sn must equal to 690 trays, whereas our A is 6 trays. They have given us that information, that 6 trays are produced on the first day. Then our N is still 10 days. Okay. So now, let us, okay. So from there, we shall say, still in our formula, Sn is equal to n over 2 into brackets 2a plus n minus 1 d. Okay, so we can now substitute Sn, or Sn is 10, S10, the sum of 10 trays, that is n, our n is 10 all over 2 into twice a, our a is 6 plus n is 10 minus 1 into d, like that. So now we can fill in. Sn is 690 trays, giving us 10 over 2 is 5. Then this gives us 2 times 6 is 12 plus 9d. So at this level, we can open brackets or divide both sides by 5. So that's 690 divided by 5. That gives us 138. So that here we have 12 plus 9d. At this moment, we can collect like terms, so that we have 9d is equal to 138 minus 12, that is 126. So when divide both sides by 9, we shall get our d as 14. Okay, so having got our d as 14, we can now conclude and say, therefore, according to this, we shall have he needs, therefore, the manager needs to produce 14 trays per day. Manager needs to produce 14 trays per day. So our dear viewers, I want to thank you so much for following us. That is our part A of that scenario, A Roman 1 and Roman 2. Follow us, subscribe, turn on the bell, share. Send in any scenarios disturbing you. We shall help you excel and you get an A. God bless you. Shalom. Platform. We looked at the element of construct 3, and we had an item. We looked at part A, Roman 1 and 2. Now we want us to look at part B. And straight away, we shall read that scenario. It says, The bakery produces 6 different types of bread. A nearby shop wants to order for 3 different types of bread. However, the shopkeeper does not know the different possible number of sections to choose from if the order in which the types are chosen does not matter. Part B, task. Determine the number of possible bread type selection the shopkeeper can choose. Our dear viewers, according to this scenario, that is which topic still under series, sequences and series, and particularly we have combination. So we can summarize and say the bakery produces 6 different types of bread. So our N, this is part B. Still we are continuing with algebra. So we say our N is equal to 6. So they have said that the bakery produces 6 different types of bread. So our N is 6. Then they are saying a nearby shop wants to order for 3 different types of bread. Now that's our R is 3. This is under combination and permutation. So we have a formula N combination R written as 6 combination 3, and this is given by 6 factorial all over 3 factorial into 6 minus 3 factorial. So what does this give us? This means 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 factorial all over 3 factorial and 3 factorial. So from here we can, this one will go with that. So that here we have 3 factorial means 3 times 2. So this means 6 times 5 times 4 all over 3 times 2 times 1. So this by 2, 1 by 2, we shall have a 2. Then by 3, 1 by 3, we shall have a 2. 2 times 5, 10. 10 times 2, that is 20. That is 20. Therefore, we shall conclude by saying, therefore, can write in our response, remember we write a scenario, a full sentence. We shall say, therefore, there are there are 20 possible selections selections the shopkeeper has. As simple as that. So thank you so much for following. Subscribe, turn on the bell, and share. God bless you. Shalom.